Our first scenic stop, plenty more to see in front of us. Right now, Goshorn Lake. Unique lake in the area for two reasons. One, it's spring fed from Lake Michigan, which is about a mile off to your left. Deep water, 90 to 100 feet deep at its deepest point. And number two, Goshorn Lake keeps shrinking every year. It's because the dunes we're traveling on today are migrating with the wind. The wind is pushing the dunes to the east, filling in the lake at a rate of about a foot per year. So in order to stabilize the dunes, dune grass was planted out here back in the 60s. Before it was planted, these dunes were moving up to 10 feet per year. There he is, our maintenance guy off to your right. That's Doug. Thanks for being good sports and playing along. All right, we are not stuck. We're not out of gas. But if that does happen, it said on the back of your tickets in small fine print, back row has to get out and push. So you know ahead of time. So, quick story about the dune grass. Imagine this, if you were here back in the 60s or earlier, looking at this view here, you wouldn't see any dune grass or trees at all in those days. It was completely barren. Rolling hills of sand looked like the Sahara Desert, moving up to 10 feet per year, causing property damage in the area. So Michigan State University sent their agriculture department down to Florida. That's where they found this Marram dune grass you see out here today. It's called Marram. Brought it back to Michigan. Student volunteers at MSU came out here in the 60s and planted all 300 acres that we cover on the dune rides. And the dune grass stabilized the dunes, and good things happened after that. The trees started to grow back. You can see the trees popping up now with the dune grass in place. So the hope is over time, the dunes we're on today will revert back to their original state, which is a dense hardwood forest. This was all covered with trees in the 1800s, densely wooded. The reason it's so open right now is because the lumberjacks of Singapore clear-cut all the trees off the dunes back in the 1870s, causing a lot of erosion in the process. That ghost town, by the way, Singapore, we're as close as we get to it right now. It's only about a quarter mile off to your left, to the west. So if you were to walk 5-10 minutes in that direction, you'd be walking over a ghost town buried in the dunes. Big success story. The forest can grow back now that the dune grass is in place. All right, we're going uphill 300 feet next. By now along the trail you'll know enough about the signs to take the signs with a grain of sand. If you want to ride back, just meet back here in 10 minutes. We'll continue the tour. If you need a photo, I suggest that log over there. Let me know if you need help taking a photo of your group or family. I can do that. So go barefoot if you want. Enjoy the views.
Welcome to the Michigan Dunes. We are 300 feet high, a little bit off the coast of Lake Michigan in Sagatuck. I think I actually said that right this time. So the place that you see behind me is a great example to is why you shouldn't overdo nature. When Chicago burned down in the Great Chicago Fire, there was this huge rush to rebuild Chicago as fast as they can. So because of that, there was a huge demand for lumber. And Sagatuck, Michigan, I should say Singapore, Michigan, they were the ones that were feeling that pressure. So they clear-cut all of this land. And what happened is that because you didn't have any trees left, it basically left this sandy, duney type of environment. It was environmentally devastating. And the town of Singapore was actually eventually covered entirely with sand. There's a ghost town that is entirely buried. There are no remnants of it left. The winds would just move the sand and the dirt around because there were no trees to hold everything into place.
Some fun hills. Hang on tight, it's going to get windy. What's called the sleeping dune. It's not moving at all, but there's still sand here. We can't see the sand because there's about 3 feet of topsoil, which the hardwood trees are taking root in. Below that topsoil, it's all sand. So this is what it looked like more or less when Singapore was built back in the 1800s. The most common type of tree you'll see down here today is the beech tree, right next to the buggy with a silver gray bark. That is a beech. Huge trunk, very old tree, estimated to be well over 100 years old, this one right here. Often referred to, by the way, as the daddy beech. This one up front with a nice curve in it, that's the mama beech, right there. Behind mama, that little one, that's the son of a beech. So, thanks. Last ride was stone cold silence on that one, so thanks for having my back. But another noteworthy tree out here on the left, right next to us.